Crescendo 125. It is that district annual conference which every Toastmaster looks forward to. The veterans can actually swear by the fun and entertainment that it provides, with, of course, tons and tons of learning. We do have some Toastmasters who joined Crescendo 125 for the first time this year, and we have two such members from TMCP West with us today. Toastmaster Devyani and Toastmaster Pavan. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Devyani, was this your first Crescendo?
Yes, it was. And I'm so happy I attended. This event was full of networking, learning, and creating some really great memories. Powerful keynotes, high energy contests. So it was very well organized. And it truly gave me a glimpse into the larger Toastmasters world. And I also feel very inspired and motivated after this experience. So a great one.
I'm glad you had a great time. Is there one emotion that you can use to describe it?
I would call it electrifying. It was an electrifying experience indeed.
Why so? I mean, what did you find electrifying about it?
I think everything about it. Like, I got to connect with Toastmasters from all across the district, learn from experienced speakers, and even step out of my comfort zone to be the part of the entertainment team. So overall, it was electrifying for sure.
Great. And what about you, Pavan? Was this your first Crescendo too?
Yes, this was my first Crescendo. In fact, the first district conference that I was attending. I have been a Toastmaster for more than 2.5 years, and still this is the first time. And I'm really happy that I attended it this time, because the kind of experience that I had during this particular time was absolutely unmatched and something that I've never, experienced. With more than 350 plus people, each one of them so amazing, each one of them playing such an amazing role in their own way. Well, I would call this entire session as a motivating one. And to be very honest, for the 2 days, I did not even realize how these 2 days have passed. And absolutely, I was very happy. The people around me were able to notice that as well. So a lot of learning, motivation, inspiration, and I would say a jump start to my Toastmasters journey. That's how I would summarize my Crescendo experience as.
Oh, that's absolutely great to hear. But when you were a Toastmaster back in Hubli, did you attend any district conferences there?
No, I was not able to attend any district conference there. And maybe I was sort of busy with my college examinations and the other things, but I now really feel that I should have attended one. And it would have been a much more better experience attending it the second time.
Oh, so this was like your first district conference and also your first Crescendo.
Absolutely, yes.
Glad to know that both of you really enjoyed those 2 days that we had. Now, we had 4 keynote addresses in all, but I think that the fireside chat with DTM Sujit, now that requires a special mention. Imagine having an international director live in front of you. I was totally mesmerized. Any thoughts on this, Devyani?
I absolutely agree. He was incredible. His journey was truly inspiring. I mean, living with a disability is not easy, but it didn't let him stop him from whatever he has achieved. He spoke about how he persisted even after failing multiple times to be an area director. And also, what really stood out for me is the love for his mother and the unwavering support he got from her, and the values she instilled in him, like the importance of building meaningful relationships than rather just showing how smart you are in a room. I learned a lot about leadership and also like his journey, like, how he has been in the field of education, how he has inspired so many. And I also loved how a bit of sassiness he had in him. So, some examples he gave, like, when, like the example where his school counselor, when he went back to the school and, gave him a shout out in a very sassy way. That was fun. Also, some impactful, like how he used body language for his international speech. Like, stand up with you, and he literally stood up from his wheelchair. So I think it was really fun, and he definitely left a memorable mark in my mind.
Oh, yes, definitely he did. It was like a never give up attitude. And sometimes it made me feel actually that sometimes we tend to crib about such small things in life. And people, I mean, people like him have to overcome so much in order to get where they are, and they still persevere. They don't give up. That's something I learned from DTM Sujit too. About the other three keynotes that we had, did any of them leave a lasting impression on you, Pavan?
Well, absolutely. Not just one, all three of them left a huge impact and learning on, my journey. Because when I talk about Savinder Puri, the way he engaged with the entire audience, we did not know how 1 hour passed. When he started about speaking about AI and how it is impacting our lives, what we should be doing in order to, stay alive when the AI generation is booming, and at the same time, what is the importance of knowing ourselves, being with our own family members, friends, and the connection that we have, the importance of not getting disconnected with this in this AI world is something that he spoke and it touched. And at the same time, when Usha ma'am spoke, the way she narrated the story of the cockroach and the frog, well, it taught me a lot more than just storytelling. It also taught me about how life in general it is, and how we should, look at people, how we should know our own selves, and how we should choose people to be around us. And well, when the doctor was giving the session, I fortunately, in two of the sessions, both in Savinder's session and the doctor's session, I was sitting in the first row. So, and at this point in time, I was the timer, but it was a difficult role for me to be at the timer because my heart felt that I should be listening more and more to them. But then my responsibility told me, no, you have to show the red card. That is how exactly I was feeling during this time. And when the doctor was speaking, I realized how important it is for us to know the basics of survival, and especially when it's at a high stake, when it's matter about life and death, how responsible we should be. And this is something that each one of us should know. I'm very glad that he covered it up in this such an important podium. Well, overall, all three of the speakers were absolutely mesmerizing, and a lot that I've learned from them.
Well, yes. Actually, when Dr. Lloyd completed his keynote address, I kept feeling that, we should have had a video of this. They could have posted a link on this, which we could have gone through again, because there are a lot of minor things which maybe we will forget or miss out. And this was
Yes,
such a very important topic. And guess
certainly.
guess what? During this entire thing, while this Dr. Lloyd's thing was happening, his mother was actually sitting next to me. And I didn't know that, but sometime before lunch, I just happened to introduce myself. And then she told me I'm Dr. Lloyd's mother. I was like, oh, wow, this is fantastic. And I got a great chance to talk to her and find out more about their family and things. So this was a great
Amazing.
bonding that I had during these keynote addresses.
Great to know that, Shambhavi.
Yes. And I would also like to know from you all, like as Toastmasters, what were your key takeaways from this entire event? I'm sure like there were a lot of things, but as a Toastmaster, what was it that you found the most important, or what was it that you would like to take away with you after these 2 days? Devyani, would you like to take that?
So for me, Crescendo was a reminder of how vast and vibrant the Toastmasters community is. Like I have recently joined Toastmasters, and I only knew people from my own club and only one or two from the Aund club, which I visited once. But I think after this event, I can name more than 50 people by name, and I have had personal conversations with them. So mainly my key takeaways would be the power of connection, the magic of collective energy, and I think how every role, whether big or small, contributes to something unforgettable. So this, like, even being a part of the entertainment team was truly special here. and I worked on that game, which really, took off. And when it's all hard while planning, it connects with many. So yeah, a lot of takeaways overall.
Mm. I liked your point about 50 people. I mean, you got to talk to 50 people, 50 Toastmasters, and you remember their names. Wow, that's really something. And what about you, Pavan? What was your, I mean, great takeaway from this?
Well, being a Toastmaster for such long, one thing that I had never experienced, before attending Crescendo was the way the people actually feel about themselves and the way we can. So, since I've been a Toastmaster, I have always interacted with maybe 30 people on a regular basis. But this time it was more than 350 people at the same venue. And initially I was skeptical, afraid of meeting all these people when, thanks to Devyani's contest and some guts which I decided to take and interact with all these people, the key learning is that we should be open to opportunities. We must not restrict ourselves. So that's something Toastmasters has always tried to teach us. But somewhere an opportunity where you actually get to do that was Crescendo 125. And as I started interacting, just like Devyani mentioned, maybe even I met more than 50 people, interacted with them. Few of them were TEDx speakers, people from multiple professions, and people having different perspectives about life. And maybe even I did not know what potential I have. A few people, while networking, motivated me to take higher positions and how I could be impactful. So this is something that where I broke the barrier that I had in my own mind, and that's something that's the biggest takeaway that I'll take home. And I'm very sure that I'm a much more confident person after Crescendo.
Absolutely. And of course, you mentioned about opportunities, and definitely both of you. I think whatever opportunities came forward for you all, you did take it up. And in future too, you will be doing that. I'm absolutely sure because you all are so capable at what you all do. Because I know that you volunteered in different teams. Pavan, for example, you were a timer for the entire proceeding of the contest conference. So can you tell us
Yes, for
what
the
that
second.
actually entailed?
Well, this entire day is an event, and at Toastmasters, timing is something that we give prime importance to. And this was not the actual role, but Toastmaster Soham gave me this opportunity and told me that this is an important role and they need someone here. And being a Toastmaster, an opportunity is something that we never leave. So I quickly said yes without thinking twice, and I decided to be the timer. So once I started, there were two key takeaways. I mean, I have been a timer. Oh, just the light has gone. Just give me a minute. If we can pause the meeting, would that be okay?
Yeah, sure, we can do
I
that.
will. I will receive. I mean,
Yeah, go on.
yeah. So as I was mentioning, being the timer, there were two aspects of being a timer here this time. One is being strict towards the timings that I had to follow, and since the audience here was a lot and the stakes of being at time was also high because we had an entire day of schedule planned ahead, so this was a very critical role, and I had to keep track of whatever is happening and keep coordinating with the organizers of what is the time, should be extended or should we get back. But over and all, the purpose was to keep the entire meeting or the entire session in time. There's one more benefit that I got being the timer. This was some experience that I had not imagined that I would get. Well, I could sit beside DTM Rajesh Daga,
Ooh,
well, who was
wow.
the, yes, and this was something that I had not imagined, honestly. So when I was sitting beside him, he started the conversation with me, and while I had just one last bingo mark to be ticked off, which was the Toastmaster couple tick off. So I had to find a Toastmaster couple which had been into Toastmaster and find them. And that was the only thing that was stopping me from winning this entire contest. So when I told him, the only thing he mentioned was, give it to me, I'll sign it for you.
Wow.
So being a timer, actually helped me a lot because I had a constraint that I could not move away from my place. And he quickly signed it for me and got the other sign as well. But a lot of conversation that I had with him, wherein I learned how he moderated the previous session, and how one can build upon conversation when you're having a conversation on a stage with 350 people. He also shared me how his Toastmaster experience has been and how enriching it would be if I continue in the same pathway. And he definitely spoke about the spirit that we Toastmasters have. So overall, being a timer helped me learn two things. One, definitely with Toastmaster Rajesh, and the second, being a timer for such a big event, there's definitely a stress on to keep the entire thing on the time. So these were two key takeaways that I had, and this experience was something I'm really, really grateful to.
Absolutely, I can really imagine sitting next to Rajesh Daga and getting all those words of wisdom from him. Seriously, I mean, you really were lucky. And Devyani, I'm sure you
I
were
was
lucky too because you were part of the entertainment team, right?
So definitely being a part of the entertainment team was sheer luck, but I am so grateful. Because when I got to know about Crescendo for the first time, I think it was my fourth or fifth month, and I had no idea about how big the event is going to be like. And luckily, distinguished Toastmaster Chinmay reached out to me and he was like, "Oh, I am leading the entertainment team. Why don't you be a part of it?" And I'm so grateful that he said this to me because everything changed after that. Because as a new member, it really gave me an opportunity to connect with a lot of senior members, to pitch my ideas, and everybody was so welcoming from DTM Milind to conveyor Toastmaster Preeti, like so many people I was interacting at almost a daily basis. I got involved in designing games, planning activities, dancing on stage, the whole act. And also because of this opportunity, at the very end, I also got to talk on stage, which I really wanted to do. So every day we used to meet at 8 p.m., a lot of brainstorming, finalizing ideas. And it was an experience in itself, like full of creativity, collaboration, lot of laughter, ups and downs. And I had an incredible time. I don't think it's just about entertainment, but it was also a lot of connection, confidence, and creating something unforgettable. So during this process as well, because I connected with distinguished Toastmaster Chinmay so well, I asked him to be my official mentor from now. So everything, like, it was just a very surreal experience.
Sure. And you had those two very interesting games, I know. How did you come up with those?
So during the process, every day we had to come up with different pitches and ideas for what we can do as an entertainment team. So because I come from a creative background, I'm into marketing and I used to work in events as well. So some things do definitely come naturally. So this was one of those ideas which came through me. But again, nothing was possible without Chinmay, Soham, Rachna, and I would like to give a special shout out to Toastmaster Hemant Arora, who also gave him some ideas and we came up with this. So it was just like another project, but we really worked on it together and it became a very successful part of the program.
And you actually had to take approval from everybody up the ladder or whatever.
Absolutely. Like I had, a personal like conversation. I had a Zoom call where I was sharing my screen. There were so many multiple revisions. We also had like a trial session with some Toastmasters where we took that feedback and also implemented. So it was a lot of planning. It seemed like a bingo sheet, very easy to do. But in terms of the logo, what to use, how to design, it was a lot of approvals at every step. So yeah.
And how does this really help you complete your level 4 project? Because I know you're going to complete a project based on this, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm completing my level 4 under the managing a project path. And I think this volunteer role fits perfectly with this opportunity. So it involved a lot of planning, right from taking approvals, designing games. And again, as I mentioned, we did a proper rehearsal to test these things out. So, all these changes, how we implemented them. And I had a beautiful team of three of us, Chinmay, Soham, and I. And each of us brought a great sense of like perspective on this bingo game. For example, Toastmaster Chinmay, because he's such a senior member, he catered to all the senior members who have been part of Toastmasters for more than 15ish years. So he had a different perspective. Soham, although very senior, he also got the Gen Z perspective in the bingo game. I represented the new members. So we really completed each other really well. And it wasn't just a game, it was part of the biggest event in our district. So managing it from end to end taught me a lot of about teamwork, adaptation, creative execution, which perfectly aligned with the level 4 project.
Great, great. And I think Pavan is also completing a certain project on networking based on his work in, based on his contribution for Crescendo. Is that right, Pavan?
Yes, I'm completing my level 3 project 1
Okay.
with which is making connections through networking. And what better can I ask for than a networking event bigger as this Crescendo 125 itself? Well, I was really excited when I started my project, but I was wondering where would I get such an event? And to my luck, Crescendo came up. Well, while I went through the project objectives, it happened to be very clear that what is expected out of this project, and also it taught me how do I start with it. But when I actually went on to take up this project and started working on it at the Crescendo, there were two people who really helped me with understanding how do I practically implement this. One was Toastmaster Arvind, and Toastmaster Devyani was also there to help me with this. And of course, the entertainment team's creation, the bingo game, the Toastmasters bingo game, helped me a lot. So I initially started with interacting with people and trying to socialize, but it wasn't that effective. Maybe here I learned the lessons of what was missing when it comes to approaching people and start building relations. And fortunately, for the second day, I had the bingo sheet in my hand. This also became a reason wherein I can easily approach people. And trust me, Shambhavi, when I say this helped only in the initial times. As I started approaching more people, the sheet's relevance actually became less. And that is what I'm sure the purpose of the entertainment team designing this sheet was, that people learn how to approach someone they've never met, how to approach them confidently, how to seem friendly, and actually build connections and have a bigger network. One thing that we forget when we network with each other is that this has to continue beyond the networking session as well. It is not just that you share ideas. Of course, that is beneficial. But what you actually need is to have long lasting connections where you exchange contact, where you exchange your cards and build connections in some way, whether on the internet or off the internet. Just give me a minute. I hope I'm visible now.
Yes, you are.
All right. Yes. So yeah, to continue, so the networking part is absolutely something very important, and the Toastmasters do get an opportunity, but as big as this is something very once that it is something that comes once only in a year. So I actually had an experience to live this project at a much bigger scale, and I have various types of experiences. Maybe when I met more than 50 people, each one of them gave me a different perspective, each one of them gave me a different way to approach, and overall I can definitely tell you that I am someone today who can easily do networking without shying away, without fearing of what the results would be. And I'm very sure that the skill that I have learned is something that is going to help me both in my Toastmasters career and in my professional career. So this entire experience, I will try, to bring it in 5 to 7 minutes, which is very difficult, but I'm sure that in the long run, this has helped me a lot. So thanks to Crescendo team, thanks to the entertainment team, and thanks to Toastmasters which has designed this beautiful project.
Kudos to both of you on all that hard work. But how could we even forget about the fun night? Did you guys attend it? Devyani, did you attend the fun night?
Unfortunately, I could not attend the fun night, but I definitely heard that it was really fun.
Oh, yes. I actually missed out on that part too. And Pavan, did you attend it?
No, I was not able to attend it as well. I really wanted to attend But I think the distance between my home and the center is something that is to be blamed for this.
Yeah, that's the same reason why I couldn't attend it. But I'm hoping that somebody in the club is going to fill in on all the details that they had. I mean, all the fun that they had that day.
Absolutely.
So, as we can see, Crescendo 125 is not just an annual conference, it has opportunities galore. You can be a contest participant or a role player, a volunteer in any of the numerous teams that work hard to make it happen, and even complete a pathway project. And do it all while having loads and loads of fun. There is something there for every Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster Devyani and Toastmaster Pavan. This is Shambhavi signing off from Crescendo Conversations Beyond the Podium. Thank you so much for your time.